Hello, my beloved friend. Welcome back. It's no accident that you're here today. There's a reason your spirit was drawn to this very message at this exact moment in your life. Something deep within you is being stirred, something that's been waiting to be heard, seen, and affirmed by heaven. So before we begin, I want to invite you, yes you, to slow down just for a moment and take a deep breath. You're safe here. You are not alone. And the truth that's about to be revealed to you may very well change the way you see love, people, and even yourself. Type "I receive" in the comments if your heart is open and ready to hear what God has to say to you through his angels today. This message is one that comes not from human reasoning or opinion, but from a divine whisper that's been echoing in the spirit realm, calling out to those who've been overlooked, hurt, or silently wondering, does anyone truly love me? For me, angels are revealing something today that many haven't been ready to hear until now. It's about who really loves you, not who said they love you, not who posted a heart emoji on your photo, not who showed up only when it was convenient, but who has carried your name before God in prayer, who cries in secret over the thought of losing you, who loves you beyond the words they're able to say, and the truth will leave you in tears. Because sometimes the people who love you the most aren't the loudest about it. Sometimes the ones you think forgot you have been carrying you in their heart the entire time. And sometimes it takes a divine message like this to open your eyes to what heaven has been trying to show you all along. Now, I want you to take this message personally. This isn't for everyone. This is for the one who's been questioning whether their heart still matters to anyone. This is for the one who's been quietly breaking inside while pretending to be strong. For the one who gave love and never received it back the same way. For the one who walked away because they were tired of being an option, not a priority. Let me tell you something. God has been watching. He has seen every tear you cried in silence. He's seen the way your heart gave even when it was running on empty. And now he's sending you this word, because someone still loves you, and the truth about that love is going to soften you in a way you didn't know you still could be. Hebrews 4:13 says, "Nothing in all creation is hidden from God's sight. Everything is uncovered and laid bare before the eyes of him to whom we must give account." That means every heart, every motive, every buried feeling is fully visible to God, even when people pretend, even when they hide behind pride, even when they've been silent for weeks or months or years. Now listen carefully. The truth about who loves you is being revealed not just to comfort you, but to prepare you. Because love is about to return to your life in a deeper, more sacred form. And God does not want you to miss it this time. There's someone, perhaps someone you haven't heard from in a long time, who still whispers your name when no one's around. They remember your laughter. They remember your warmth. They remember the way you made them feel safe, even when they didn't deserve it. But pride, confusion, or fear held them back from loving you the way they should have. And now their soul aches to find its way back to you. Maybe they were immature when you loved them. Maybe they didn't know how to receive the kind of love you were offering. Or maybe they thought they had more time, but now they're learning that time is not promised, and love like yours doesn't come twice. God is not only revealing this truth to comfort you, he is revealing it to heal you. Because part of your heart has been locked away behind disappointment, and the angels say, it's time to open the door again, not to everyone, but to the one God has been working on. The one who, even now, is being spiritually awakened to what they lost when they lost you. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" And that's exactly what's happening now. God is doing a new thing, not just in your life, but in the heart of the one who still loves you. Someone who once chose comfort over courage is being stirred. Someone who once thought they could move on is realizing that no one has ever matched the way your soul made theirs feel. And here's where it gets even more beautiful. The angels say this person has been talking to God about you, quietly, sincerely, asking for forgiveness, asking for a second chance, not just with you, but with their own life. Because losing you showed them something deeper, something eternal. It showed them that real love cannot be replaced. And now, they're seeking a way to make things right, not through pressure or manipulation, but through true transformation. Matthew 6:33 reminds us, But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. And that's what this person is learning. That no relationship, no desire, no plan outside of God's order will satisfy. They tried. They searched. They maybe even dated others. But nothing healed what only your presence could. I know you've been strong for so long.
I know you've told yourself you're better off forgetting.
But if this word is for you, if something in your soul is trembling right now, it's because you can feel that this love isn't finished. It's not over. It's evolving, and it's returning, but this time divinely guided. This is the kind of love that breaks generational patterns, the kind that matures, that admits wrong, that apologizes without excuses. That sees your value even more now than it ever did before. Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." Even heartbreak has a purpose. Even distance has a design. Sometimes God separates two people just long enough for them to grow into the love he destined them to carry. And that's what's happening now. The person who still loves you is growing into the one who will finally protect what they once neglected. They're no longer satisfied with superficial things. They're praying differently, living differently, thinking differently, and your name is still written on their heart. But here's where I must pause and ask you something important. Are you ready to love again? Not with your old wounds, not with walls built from fear, but with the heart God is healing even now through this message, because the love returning to your life won't look the same as before. It will be more intentional, more spiritual, more purified by the fire of lessons learned. The angels say this isn't about going backward. It's about going deeper. It's about rediscovering what was always real and choosing to protect it this time with prayer, wisdom, and accountability. Proverbs 18:12 tells us, "Before a downfall, the heart is haughty, but humility comes before honor." This person has been humbled. They have faced their own inner battles, and their love for you has not been destroyed by time. It's been refined by truth. Now, before we go any further, please take a moment and like this video if something inside you is awakening. If you feel this message pulling at your spirit, if you sense that this isn't just a coincidence, that God is using this very moment to speak directly to your heart, and if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to Prophetic Message. Tap the notification bell so you'll never miss a word that could change the course of your life. Let's go even deeper, my friend. Because the truth about who loves you is not just about romance, it's about restoration. The person who loves you may not even be a partner. It might be a friend you thought forgot you, a family member who's been quietly watching over you, waiting for the right moment to apologize. Someone who has seen your struggle, but didn't know how to reach out before. Psalm 34:18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." And you have felt crushed more than you've ever admitted. You've smiled through pain. You've encouraged others while you were empty. And now God is sending love back to you, real love. Redeemed love, not just from a person, but from heaven itself. You've been carrying this loneliness for too long. You've questioned whether you were hard to love. You've even started wondering if you're asking for too much. But the truth is, you were just waiting for the one who could love you right, the one who was willing to grow up emotionally and spiritually, the one who sees your worth not as a burden but as a blessing. And that love, my dear friend, is on its way. The angels say it is near, closer than you think, closer than your next breath. And when it arrives, it won't come with confusion. It won't come with conditions. It won't come with pride. It will come with peace. It will feel familiar. It will feel safe. And most of all, it will feel holy. And now that your spirit has begun to receive this word, I want to tell you something that might feel like a quiet whisper at first, but it's going to grow louder the more you allow your heart to stay open. There is someone, yes, someone specific, whose soul has remained tethered to yours even when their actions said otherwise. And though time may have passed and silence may have stretched wide like an empty field between you, the angels say the bond has not been broken. It's only been buried, but now heaven is bringing light to that buried connection. Not so you can be confused or hold on to a fantasy, but so you can discern clearly the truth. That real love, divine love, God-ordained love, does not die. It waits, it transforms, and sometimes it returns when it's finally mature enough to carry the weight of what it once fumbled. Ecclesiastes 3:11 tells us, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." That means not your time, not their time, but his time. And if the truth about who loves you is being revealed now, it's because heaven has declared that the season of wandering is coming to a close. This person is awakening from their emotional slumber, and what's haunting them is not regret alone. It's the realization that what they were praying for, they already had when they had you, so what do you do now? You've guarded your heart. You've tried to move on. You've tried to convince yourself that you were just imagining it all, that maybe it wasn't real. Maybe they never cared the way you did. But if your heart is still trembling even as you listen to these words, then I need you to pause and take inventory. Because when God starts to speak to your spirit about the truth of love, it means he's preparing you for restoration that's deeper than what you lost. You see, the kind of love that's about to reveal itself in your life is not superficial. This love is not based on text messages, likes, or fleeting emotions. This love has passed through the fire. This love has wrestled with shame, guilt, confusion, and is coming back clearer, purer,
and more grounded in divine purpose. Corinthians 13:7 says,
"Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things." And that's exactly what's been happening in the heart of the one who loves you. Their love has endured, even when they couldn't tell you, even when they pushed you away, even when they tried to fill your space with distractions. And now that love is ready to bear the truth. But let's be real. You're not the same person you used to be. You're wiser. You've healed. You've discovered who you are in God's eyes. And maybe that's why the angels waited until now to deliver this message, because you're finally in a position to receive the love that won't drain you, but cover you. You are not desperate. You are not chasing. You are not begging for crumbs. You are now standing in your worth. And the angels rejoice because you've remembered something vital, that you are someone to be loved deeply, not lightly. That you are worth someone showing up with consistency, with clarity, and with reverence for your soul. And the one who loves you, they are starting to realize that too. They are beginning to understand that love is not just about chemistry, it's about commitment. It's not just about feelings, it's about actions rooted in truth. And the truth is you were their safe space, their peace, their light. And now that they've wandered through their own wilderness, they're yearning for the warmth they once took for granted. Isaiah 30:18 says, "Yet the Lord longs to be gracious to you. Therefore he will rise up to show you compassion." Just like the Lord longs to be gracious to you, this person is learning what it means to long, to ache, to miss what they thought they could easily replace. They're finding out that peace doesn't come from distraction, that joy doesn't come from noise, that the place they truly felt held was next to you. But I need you to hear this clearly. This message is not about waiting passively for someone to show up. It's not about putting your life on hold. It's about standing in discernment, walking in alignment, and being spiritually prepared to recognize when God begins to reintroduce love back into your story, not for nostalgia, but for purpose. Because there's a difference between people who return out of guilt and those who return out of growth. The one who loves you truly has been growing, quietly, painfully, under divine supervision. And now God is allowing this love to surface so that you can make a decision not from emotion, but from revelation. Philippians 1:6 says, "He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus." That includes the work he's been doing in them. You may not see it yet. You may not have received the message, the call, the apology. But in the Spirit, the angels say movement has already begun. Some of you will hear from this person sooner than you expect. A sudden message, a dream that shakes you, a memory that stirs you to pray. And when it happens, don't dismiss it. Don't harden your heart out of fear. Instead, go to God. Ask him to reveal whether this is the one whose love is ordained for your life. God is not the author of confusion. If it's from him, it will be confirmed. It will align, and it will come with fruit, evidence of change, consistency, and spiritual clarity. And remember, God doesn't just give us people to love. He gives us assignments. Your love is not ordinary. That's why it hurt so deeply when it was mishandled. Because your love carried purpose, healing, vision, and now the person who still loves you is being reminded by God of what they once touched and what they may still have a chance to steward again, but only if they've learned, only if they've surrendered, only if they've submitted their heart fully to God's will. And that, my friend, is what the angels are celebrating. Because the truth about who loves you is not just about your past, it's about your future. It's about your destiny. It's about how two people once broken can be made whole again through divine timing, healing, and obedience. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." That includes your love story. That includes the relationships that once brought you pain but are now being reformed in the presence of God. So what's next for you? Keep healing, keep growing, keep worshiping, keep praying for wisdom. Don't rush ahead of God's plan, and don't settle for what's convenient. Because what's coming to you will be divine, and when it arrives, it will make sense why everything else had to fall apart. And when the moment comes, whether it's a message, a conversation, a new beginning, I want you to remember what you heard today. That love, real love, has not forgotten you. It's been watching you from afar. It's been learning how to love you better. And soon it will ask for the opportunity to try again, with God at the center. Now that your heart has begun to process this truth, you may start noticing something, a softening, a shifting, a quiet awareness that perhaps you've not been as forgotten as you thought, that even in the silence you've been deeply loved, and not just by this person but by God himself. There's a reason this message is reaching you now, because you are entering a season of unveiling. God is peeling back the layers of hidden love, love you couldn't see, but that was still there. Love that was waiting for the right time, and now the veil is lifting. The angels say that for some of you, the person who loves you has been undergoing a transformation so sacred, so internal, that even they don't look the same in the spirit anymore. Their countenance is changed. Their prayers have changed. Their heart posture has changed. And their understanding of you, of what you represent to them, has grown far beyond what they once imagined. Because the truth is, you weren't just a person in their life. You were a divine appointment. You carried something their soul needed, something their healing required. And though they may have mishandled you before, they are beginning to realize that what they experienced with you wasn't just love, it was grace. Zechariah 4:6 reminds us, "Not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit, says the Lord Almighty." And that's exactly how this restoration is coming. Not by force, not by manipulation, but by the Spirit of God softening hearts and orchestrating encounters. That's why your healing was necessary. That's why your boundaries had to be set. Because you weren't being punished, you were being prepared. Prepared to recognize the difference between empty words and spiritual fruit. Prepared to discern the presence of God in someone's actions, not just their emotions. Prepared to receive love from a healed heart, not a broken one trying to be fixed by your affection. Because, beloved, you are not a rehabilitation center for emotionally unavailable people. You are not a test run. You are not a temporary placeholder until someone is ready. You are a child of the Most High. And the love you are worthy of must be rooted in reverence, not just for you, but for the God who lives within you. That's why this message had to come now. Because God doesn't want you settling out of weariness. He doesn't want you accepting counterfeit comfort when real love is on the way. He wants you strong, whole, aligned, so that when the one who truly loves you returns, or is revealed, you will meet them not in survival mode, but in sacred strength. Psalm 37:4 says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart." And what your heart has been quietly desiring, maybe even suppressing, is not just companionship. It's divine connection. It's a love that mirrors the relationship between Christ and the church, sacrificial, committed and sealed by purpose. And make no mistake, God knows exactly what your heart needs, even the parts you haven't voiced out loud, even the secret longings, even the hope you were too scared to hope. He's seen you waiting for a love that feels like home, a love that sees you fully and chooses you daily. And now the heavens are aligning for that love to find its way to your door. But I must warn you, when the truth about who loves you is revealed, it may shake you because it won't always be the one you expected. Sometimes the people we wanted to love us weren't equipped to carry the calling attached to our hearts. Sometimes the person who loved us in secret lacked the courage to love us in public. And sometimes the one who loves us most is someone who's been walking with us quietly in the background, loving us in prayer, loving us through support, loving us without asking for anything in return. That's why you must stay spiritually awake, because the enemy loves to distract you with what looks good on the outside, while God is preparing someone whose love will anchor you from the inside, someone who will speak your name in rooms you're not in, someone who will fight for your soul, not just your body, someone who has been sent, not just attracted. John 4:18 says, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear." The love that's coming will not confuse you. It will not manipulate you. It will not make you beg for clarity. It will silence your doubts because it will be grounded in God. And for some of you, you already know who this person is. You've felt it. You've dreamt of them. You've sensed their pull even when you tried to forget them. But timing wasn't right. Maturity wasn't there. The lessons hadn't been learned. The surrender hadn't happened. But now the shift has begun. Their prayers are changing. Their walk is changing. Their desires are being purified. Because when God puts his hand on someone's life, he doesn't just change their behavior, he changes their heart. And that's what's happening now. The one who truly loves you is beginning to see that this love was never casual. It was covenant. And covenant love does not fade. It might go through fire. It might be tested. It might be stretched. But it survives. Because it was forged in the spirit, not just formed in the flesh. So how will you know when it's really them? You'll know because peace will enter before they do. You'll know because their presence won't trigger anxiety. It'll calm it. You'll know because God will confirm it, not just in your feelings, but through signs, scriptures, and spiritual alignment. And here's the key. You won't have to convince them of your worth. You won't have to explain your value. You won't have to shrink or second guess. They will come honoring what they once didn't understand. They will come ready to build what they once neglected. They will come not to be served, but to serve alongside you, to partner, to pray, to love in a way that only heaven could have taught them. Proverbs 31:11 says, "The heart of her husband safely trusts her, and he will have no lack of gain." And that's what's returning. A love that trusts, a love that brings gain, not loss, a love that nourishes, not depletes, a love that sees you not as a trophy, but as a treasure. And for those of you who are still waiting, wondering if love will ever find you, don't lose heart. Heaven has not forgotten you. The delay is not denial. The silence is not absence. God is working in the hidden places, both in you and in the one he's preparing for you. This season you're in is sacred. This season is about refinement. So when love finally comes knocking, it finds you full, not empty. Whole, not broken. Expectant, but not desperate. Ready, not restless. And when the truth about who loves you finally unfolds fully, your tears won't be from sorrow. They'll be from recognition. The kind of recognition that says, this is what I was praying for. This is the peace I was promised. This is the love I was made for. Even now, as you listen, something in your heart is beginning to soften in a way you haven't felt in a long time. There's a stirring happening in the hidden places of your spirit. It's subtle, but undeniable. The walls that were built for protection are loosening. The icy parts of your soul that were frozen by disappointment are beginning to thaw under the warmth of divine truth. And this is where love begins to return, not from the outside in, but from the inside out. Because before love finds its way back to your doorstep, it first has to find its place within you. You have to become reacquainted with your own heart. You have to stop running from the softness God placed inside you. You have to believe again, not just in the one who loves you, but in your own worthiness of love. You were never hard to love. You were never asking for too much. You were simply waiting for someone who could see past your silence, past your strength, past your survival, and still say, I choose you, not just when it's easy, not just when they're lonely, but when it's sacred. when it's holy, when it's time. Psalm 126:5 says, "Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy." And you've sowed enough tears. You've sown in heartbreak. You've sown in hope. You've sown in the midnight hours when no one knew the ache you carried. You've sown through rejection, through waiting, through wondering if anyone would ever see you beyond your strength. And now, it's harvest time. You're going to begin seeing small signs first. A song that hits different, a dream that feels too real to ignore, a person reaching out when you least expect it, a shift in your own heart posture where the bitterness begins to lift, where the hope you buried starts to bloom again. Don't fight it. Don't dismiss it. Don't shame yourself for wanting to love and be loved. Because what the enemy tried to convince you was weakness, God is now revealing as your strength. Your softness is not a liability, it's a divine gift. Your ability to love deeply, to feel deeply, to stay loyal even when others walk away, that is rare. That is holy. And that is why heaven is preparing someone who can hold it, cherish it, and cover it properly. You've learned the difference between being chosen for your light and being loved for your soul. And that difference is what's guiding your discernment now. You're no longer looking for attention. You're listening for alignment. You're no longer settling for empty chemistry. You're seeking covenant compatibility, and that, beloved, is how you'll know. You'll know it's real because your spirit will recognize the peace of God resting on the connection. Not chaos, not uncertainty, not emotional whiplash, but peace. Timothy 1:7 reminds us, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." This love that's coming, this person who still loves you, it will not provoke fear. It will not resurrect old trauma. It will not leave you guessing. It will come with a sound mind, a steady heart, and a soul that is now grounded in God. They won't try to impress you with promises. They'll show you through transformation. They won't speak only from memory, they'll speak from maturity. They won't be chasing the version of you that existed when they left. They'll honor the evolved version of you that stood the test of time and didn't lose your light in the darkness, because the truth is, you became the person they needed you to be after they left, and so did they. That's what makes this moment divine. You didn't just wait, you grew. You didn't just cry, you climbed. You didn't just suffer, you survived with grace. And that's why this return, this reconnection, this revelation will not look like before. It will come with reverence. It will come with humility. And it will come when both of you are finally ready. Now, I want to speak to the part of you that still questions. The part that still fears getting it wrong. The part that asks, what if I'm just hoping for something that will never come back? Let me tell you this. When God breathes on something, no force in hell can stop it from returning in His time. Not delay, not distance, not even human error. When God says yes, it doesn't matter how long it's been or how far someone has wandered. He will draw them back with cords of loving kindness, not to reward what was lost, but to restore what is holy. Hosea 11:4 says, "I led them with cords of human kindness, with ties of love." That is what is happening now. God is leading this person, softly, gently, but undeniably, back to the awareness of who you are in their life. They are being drawn not by guilt, but by truth. Not by nostalgia, but by purpose. Not by loneliness, but by divine realization. And as they draw near, you will feel it. You'll feel it in the sudden stirring to pray for them again. You'll feel it in the shift in your spirit. You'll feel it in the dreams that become vivid, in the memories that surface not to torment you, but to prepare you. Don't be afraid. This is not a trap. This is a test of your discernment, a test of your healing, a test of your ability to stay rooted in God, even as love knocks at your door again. And when it does, you'll be ready. You won't have to ask God if you're strong enough. You are strong enough. You won't have to ask if you're healed enough. You are healed enough, because this isn't about perfection, it's about preparation. And you've been prepared for this moment long before you even knew what was coming. That's why you're here. Listening now, that's why your heart can't turn away. That's why your spirit is leaning in, because this is your confirmation. This is your reassurance. This is your signal from heaven that everything you've endured, every tear you've cried, every piece of your heart that you thought was lost, It's all being restored. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are deeply,
fiercely, eternally loved. And now that the truth has been revealed,
it's up to you to decide how to carry it. Do you carry it with bitterness? Or do you carry it with grace? Do you guard it with fear? Or do you shield it with prayer? Do you chase it? Or do you wait for it to come in God's time, God's way, for God's purpose? You already know the answer, because your spirit has matured and your heart now belongs to God first. So when love returns, it won't take his place. It will align under his authority. That is what makes this different. That is what makes this sacred. And that is why this message had to reach you now. So type in the comments, one more time, blessed and ready. Declare it with faith. Declare it with expectation. Declare it not because you're desperate, but because you're prepared. And please, if you've made it this far, I know your heart has been touched. So don't keep this word to yourself. Someone you know is waiting for this exact message. Someone you love is silently suffering, not knowing that love is already reaching for them through the hands of God. Share this video with them. Be the messenger. Be the answer to someone's hidden prayer. Make sure you're subscribed to Prophetic Message. Tap the bell and turn on notifications so you never miss the next revelation that could be the very word your soul needs to hear. And if this message has ministered to you in any way, if it has confirmed something, stirred something, or helped you see yourself through God's eyes again, please consider sowing into this ministry. Your super thanks, your comments, your prayers, they help this mission go further. They allow us to keep delivering what heaven is speaking in this hour. You are not alone. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be for love to find you again. Not the old love, not the broken love, but the real love, the heaven-sent, God-approved, purpose-aligned love that heals instead of harms, that builds instead of breaks, that stays instead of runs. Get ready, because the truth about who loves you is now undeniable. And what's next? That's between you and God.